Hey everybody, this is Glidercat, and it's time to play. We're back in Captain of Industry. Let's get to it. Let's see, between episodes, I let things run a bit. I did some little tweaks here and there, did some little micro changes to our mining designations and terraforming stuff. I'll probably try and do more of that off camera because we have a lot of terraforming to do, and we're eventually going to get more organized and things aren't going to look so crazy like this filled in teeth area. That eventually is going to be nice green open pasture over time, but we'll get that organized as we go. We do have a few problems. One is diesel looks good at 1.1k, but I've had to run things on a boost, and so we're just barely actually keeping up with the diesel. The other liquid problem we have is water. You can see we had a bunch of these that were all filled up. Now they are mostly depleted. I turned on our desalinators here, our basic distillers. These guys, I have one of them on a boost. And our water ground well is almost depleted, the water supply. It does slowly kind of regenerate, but yeah, water's kind of an issue. What else? We have our existing problem with the coal power plant here not getting coal. We're on a path to resolving that once we get the upgraded belts. However, it's going to take a whole lot of construction part 3s to upgrade our monster coal belt here. It may be a while before that situation self-resolves. So, in between, like I said, I let the game run a bit, or was playing it. You know, I wasn't away from keyboard or anything. Excuse me. But we completed a ton of research. So here it is up in the top left. Steel smelting, done. Construction part 3s, done. Conveyor belt 2s, done. We can't make those yet. And then edicts is unlocked as well. We also, in between episodes, I think got our first mild flu in the colony, and I did lose some people, but it looks like we've recovered. So that's another thing that's kind of lingering out there, is looking after the colonist health. I sent out our ship a few times. May have repaired something. Sulfur mine, I'm not sure if we did that on camera or not. That is repaired. There shouldn't be anybody working it. No, it's paused. These guys we can't repair until we get construction part 3s. Cleared some pirates. Don't know what else we can get to. Looks like we can fight these guys, so let's send the ship out. See how we do there. And then I'm thinking we obviously want to get to producing steel, construction part 3s, and upgrading to the new level of belts. But I'm thinking in the meantime, maybe we throw a coal power generation plant over closer to where we have a good coal supply. I'm just going to copy this. Boom. And we are going to flatten all this land, so eventually everything that's up here is going to need to go. But we have water, we have coal. Let's just let's tap into this and get some power going. That way we don't have to worry so much about burning through our diesel so fast. So we just need coal. I guess I could have put that a lot closer. It's fine. Like I said, this is going to be somewhat temporary anyway. So let's branch off of this guy. Boom. Boom. And we just need to bring water in. Is that where the water goes? Yep. So let's just bring that over. We may have to do a bit of a wiggle, or I can pull from below. I'd almost... Ooh. Can I... Let's see if I can get over this. I don't think they will let me, will they? No, they're going to make me go under. I'm going to be blocking a bunch of stuff if we do that, right? What about... I hop over here? Nope, they definitely want me to go under. I'm trying to think of a way where I'm not blocking roads. Let's see. What other option do we have? We already got these things down 2 levels, so no matter what, I'm going to have to poke underneath, it looks like. Let's do it. It's a little goofy, but it'll do. And that should get us power, and then hopefully we can shut off those diesel generators. What are we doing on Unity? Unity's just kind of creeping forward, so I'll let them build this on their own time. We don't have any real water storage. That would make a lot of sense, but in fact, maybe we could put a tank right here. Let's do that. Fighting. Boom. Okay, 2 fluid storage. Get rid of this pipe. Change it up a little bit. Hard to see. Trying to zoom in. Yeah, it looks like that's all connected. I think we'll be good now. Let's set this to water. Boom. Water. Boom. Okay, let's see how we did in battle. Looks like we must have won. Good. And what did we find? Location explored. Found some loot, just some rubber and some copper, and we cleared a node on the map. And it looks like our ship's coming back. Yeah. Yep. You got to repair since we fought. All right, that should eventually solve some of our diesel consumption issues. I did repair, now I remember, I think I upgraded this oil rig. It's now level 4, and I've got 54 workers on this. So we're bringing in more crude. Our little cargo ship is much more busy. And it looks like we are starting to store diesel, but yeah, these guys are waiting on crude to come in. I think I'll upgrade this guy. All right, that's that. I also reworked some belts around here. We had some kind of crazy belts to clear out a space. I think this is where I want to do my steel production, or at least the iron smelting portion of that. So let's take a look at what's going to be involved with that. If we look at the blast furnace, we should have a new... Where is it? Molten steel. Blast furnace, oxygen furnace. That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, we got molten iron plus oxygen. Gets us molten steel. And it gets reduced by half, it looks like. So 24 molten iron to 12 molten steel. I kind of want a lot of this. So we need a lot of molten iron. 24. The blast furnace is 1-to-1 with the oxygen furnace, right? We need to bring oxygen in. I might actually pause for this. Let's see. Casters are going to come later, so this is going to be a little bit different setup. Do I have room? Do I have room? We need to bring the coal down and this iron down. Let's try. I think we're going to have to make this work with the room we have. Oh, man, it's a little snug. What we could do, we could go sideways. It's going to eat up space too, but all this can move, including the ramp. Everything can move. But then we got to bring these belts over. Oh, man, yeah, this is going to be a big construction project. What I want to do is get at least 2 smelters going on the steel. So it's going to involve a blast furnace, followed by an oxygen furnace, And then we're going to need the guy that makes the oxygen. Where is that? That guy, where are you? Under general machines, this air separator. So 36 per 60 seconds, or 60 units, whatever time units we're looking at. 36 of those. And this guy needs 18, so that's a 2-to-1. You won't be able to boost or anything. Wondering if we should go really big on the steel and do even more of these. We could, maybe 2 is enough. Like I said, this thing we can push. This belt we can push, probably. We can make it work. If we go sideways, we'll have a little more room. The other thing is wiggling this belt up. Furnace. Darn. Blast furnace. Oxygen furnace. Puts out 12. Those two could dump to the same molten channel. Like if we had blast furnace, oxygen furnace, blast furnace, oxygen furnace, and then those just dumped out to a common molten channel, that would be 24 molten steel. And then we get to the cooled caster here. We could just have the casters somewhere further down, I suppose. Ooh, these guys are going to consume water, which is kind of scarce for us at the moment. So it looks like it's starting to recover. Let's try that and see how that would look. Blast furnace. We can get kind of snuggled up here, I think. A little bit closer. About right there. Let's leave a little room. Boom. And then oxygen furnace. Need to leave room just for smokestack and slag to get out of here. We actually have some room. Then coal, a very sparse coal belt. Come in like that. Iron would come in like that. Molten channel. How much does this carry? Ooh, 120 throughput. That's pretty good. Come through there. Smokestack. Guess I can just pin it on here. We got more smokestacks over here. See this one with a pipe. Slag. We'll route slag in a minute. I think we're going to do at least 2 of these. Boy, tempted to do more. What will you take, molten channel? You'll take 120. It's only going to put out 12. Thinking how far to scale it. I guess we could start with two sets of these. And then we'll worry about how to route this oxygen in a minute. Yes. Yeah, let's copy this. Just you guys. Leaves me a little room. Kind of would like to have these things 3 apart. Let's do it. Let's belt it up. E-shaped conveyor. Coal here, suppose. There and there. Iron supplies looking pretty good on that belt. We may pause one of these. Slag. Just wondering. Just wondering how much we can scale. That's why I'm hesitating here. Thinking about doing 4 of these, right? The cat, this is going to put out 12 molten. 12 molten, that's 24. Our caster is the cooled caster. This guy does 12 each. So we could do 3 of these. Let's see, what is this going to look like? These aren't small either. Do 3 sets and then stack some of these cooled casters. Kind of want to do 4. I don't want to do 4. Oh man, do we need it? Do we need it? Easily start with 2. And where am I going to put my casters? All right, tell you what, I'm going to hit play and we're going to clean up this area a bit. And maybe try and reroute this coal belt in between the first 2 sets and just move this stuff over. Let's do it. I'm going to hit play. Here we go. Boom. We're going to take this up. You go. And would love this iron. Oh, this is incoming iron. So you can go anywhere, really. In fact, let's yeah, let's change this up a bit. Rework this. Doing a lot of this series. You trying to minimize the pillars. They won't let me build the whole belt until I disconnect this portion. Now I can just bridge this across. But I need to get rid of this last little nugget if I want to avoid having an extra pillar. Okay, that takes care of that. This whole area will be cleared out. And then this coal line that's kind of cutting through, love to move it right next to this guy. And then we could put 2 more lines like this. And we might need to move these wood and construction part 3 storage. Where is that coal wiggling to? It's moving through that way. There's no reason that couldn't come through here, slip under this conveyor, and just follow that around and kind of join up with where it was going, right? How's our power looking? Take a little break from looking at that. Are you doing your thing? Do you have any problems? Like you have plenty of coal. Looks like you're getting water. We can unpause this now that we have some water storage. You waiting on anything? Looks like that guy's running continuously. These guys look good. In fact, since we know we're kind of not so great on coal, let's pause all this stuff. Maybe we'll make use of this later. Maybe we won't. We'll just delete it. But for the time being, let's turn it off, and then we can let this coal fill up in here and back up, and turn this coal maker off. Stop wasting our trees. All right, let's get back to the task at hand. This iron belt is slowly exhausting itself. We need to route a new coal belt. I guess I'm going to come right down the middle. U-shaped conveyor. And by the middle, I mean this spot right here. Boom. Pillars don't matter too much through here. We're gonna have to duck under, so let's stay one level lower. Put a pillar where I don't think it's gonna matter. And let's tuck under this belt. Let's finish that right there. And then I need to delete a portion of this belt, otherwise they won't let me connect it. So that's going to be this one. Now they'll let me connect. They just don't let you connect a belt in a loop. So I got to delete this little nugget. Connect. That's what I want right there, I think. Basically just clearing out this space here so we can put more things. Wood storage is going to have to be moved. Could we could put some storages here in the middle, or we could just move this all way over back this way. Let's wait for this iron to clear and that coal belt to clear. That's almost done. Okay, that one's done. Let's delete it. See how much room we need. This guy can go all the way back to there. Boom. And looks like the iron belt is just about exhausted or emptied. One more little nugget or two. Get that out of our way. And yeah, I want 2 more of these. I want 4 steel making things. Let's we can pick our recipe while we're waiting for things to clear. It's just gonna be good old fashioned iron. Boom. And gotta keep an eye on everything, maintenance and food. Usually when I get involved in these big projects, stuff goes downhill. And the other parts of the island where I'm not paying attention to. Yeah, that's all gonna get cleared out. That's going to get cleared out. We got this guy, this wood storage, which is in our way. We could move it pretty easily over... this is kind of a main thoroughfare. You can move it anywhere. It just needs to feed into that. Just thinking about where we can put it. Without blocking our kind of pathways for trucking. One more section for this coal belt. I was wondering why this was backed up. Yeah, right now I'm thinking of where to put the wood, right? Because if we're going to do 2 more of these here, that thing, I'm pretty sure that's going to be in the way. These we might get away with just leaving them where they're at. But I need a new home for this wood. Upgraded it just recently on... Or no, I didn't. It's single level. Could put it down here somewhere. And just spin this belt. No, we can't, because it forks right here to feed construction part 1 production. Doom, doom, doom. Little logs. I guess maybe run a belt around it or run a belt inside there. Could go here. We can always move this thing. Eventually, we're going to need a tree farm for that wood, right? I think we're always going to need wood. We have a ton of trees to harvest, but eventually we may run out or not be able to access trees that we want to get to, and we're going to need to build a little tree farm. I'm guessing that's going to be over here somewhere. I suppose it would make sense to put it near our production. But I'm guessing it's going to be off to the east as we're looking here. So maybe it makes sense to plan for the wood storage to be off to the east. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're going to be belting stuff in from. So that would mean got to get to that belt. Could weave under this big mess. Put storage for logs like way out here. And just travel onto this water pipe. Oh, man. Yeah. Somehow get through this main area. There is a path. There's a way to do it. It's not going to be pretty. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We have some room here. Let's put a storage. We can go for a biggie. This is going to be our wood. And let's get flat conveyor. Not level 2, just level 1 is plenty. You need to come out here. Maybe you can go up by 1. Don't know if we need to worry about pillars or not. Any paths yet, truck routes or anything. We can kind of match up to these pillars for the heck of it. At one point we had a truck route coming through here. I think that's been pretty much destroyed at this point with the new construction we put in. I don't think trucks are getting through there. If they are, it's not an essential route. Extra pillars through here, aren't there? This one should snap on. Bam. And then this guy, let's, I think if we delete this, okay, click to remove the currently assigned products. The storage is not empty. This will request trucks to remove all the remaining products. Okay, let's do that. Boom. Let's turn truck imports off. Exports on. We just want to empty that. This guy can be set to keep full. So they've got a place to take this wood, and then can I just delete this? I think I can, and I'm not going to lose the wood. Well, these guys look like they're working on it right now. Clearing out. Doing a pretty good job. We got adequate trucking apparently. Well, these guys are sitting on their rear ends. Alright, let's mark that for deletion. Get it out of our way. Looks like there's a little nugget of belt there we can get rid of too. And then we're going to cut and copy these guys. I don't want to go big. While we're doing that, let's see if our diesel generators are still firing off like crazy. Check it out. That's good to see. That's good to see. It's past 4 of them. Now we should start saving up diesel. Water's looking better. And yeah, these diesel tanks are starting to fill up. Oh, I like it. Eventually we're going to upgrade these to huge size. Let's just see where that is in the tech tree. If I should be upgrading these or just waiting for the big giant ones, because we're gonna have to tear those out once we get the big giant ones. Ooh, that's storage 2. Storage large. It's quite a ways away. I think we'll just upgrade these slowly. Pick one and upgrade it. Been doing that over with the food too, and the food and the crude. These guys have been upgraded. We're doing awesome on food, by the way. That may come in handy later. All right, what next? Vehicles management is being researched. We still need to do more steel work. I'm just taking a little break to make sure everything's healthy here on the rest of the island. Let's, can I do this? Yep. Let's send the ship out. Coal mining team 2 is complaining. Okay, this has all been leveled off. Down to, this was kind of between episodes. Although we did start it last episode. But if we look, this is all at level 1 now. Right? We have a ramp to get to that level. So now I want to think about playing with those retaining walls. Right? We're 1 above sea level. That's pretty low. That seems like a decent place to start the retaining walls. And I'm thinking we should start, I guess, pretty far out, because we're going to have multiple layers. Let's look at the deposits. So, it's hard to see, isn't it? What can I get rid of? That. Just want to see. There we go. That's what I want to see. This is many layers deep, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 22 layers deep. So in theory, if you need a retaining wall every 5 layers, it's like 4 sets of retaining walls, and they can't be stacked on top of each other. So maybe we start kind of far out, kind of picturing retaining wall along here, right along the coast. And then we'll get some miners to dig down 5 levels. And then we'll put another retaining wall in, kind of on and on and on. And we'll get as much of this coal as we can and hopefully learn a little bit about retaining walls, which I know almost nothing about. But let's do that. I think we want to go as close to the coast as we can for this. Probably a better strategy, but I'm going to go with what I think is right. This is more of an experiment than the, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, they don't like me doing it where there's designations, apparently. These look like they've been already met. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of retaining wall there. And then what I want the mining crew to do, I guess maybe once these are built, is take this down another 5 levels. I guess they could start. They could start that, right? Or let's wait till these are built. And in the meantime, we'll give this crew some new things to do. Maybe you guys, I guess, finish flattening this out to level 1. See, edit the area. Have them this. Give them a little bit more ground to just mine. Have at it, fellas. These are already getting built. Once they are built, like I said, we'll set up a new mining designation just to take this 5 levels deeper, and then we'll put another row, I guess, of yeah, another row of retaining walls. See if we can tier our way down there. Not sure how that's going to turn out. Find out as we go. All right, that's all gone. Can I do my cut and paste? waste. All that. Kind of right there. Okay, right? Just out of curiosity, do we have an upgraded molten channel? Don't think so, right? You just get one, but it holds 120. So that should be plenty. We're only getting 12 each out of these. Yeah, we could have 10 of these and we'd be fine. All right. Coal belt needs to continue on as well. Let's extend that. We're doing on pillars all over the place. There, pull there, iron and iron. Okay, slag. We gotta get slag out of here somehow. Where do we want it to go? Be nice to bring it down here, right? Fill this up. I don't think we need to worry about feeding it into this belt, although we could if we wanted to. Could if we wanted to get it onto here. How much slag are these guys going to put out? 12 each. So that's another 48. Guy only holds 60. We would need to upgrade our slag belts. Guys, I'll keep empty. Hopefully people can reach this still. I hope this is still being emptied. Not looking great, is it? Vehicles are very busy. All right. Vehicle management got researched, so we have another whatever. I think that gave us 20 more vehicles that we can create. Found some loot, but really nothing else. Not sure if our ship can even do much more until we get better fuel tanks or something. Slabs look a little anemic. That's because we're storing half of them in here, probably. Oh, man. Yeah, that... Boy, we must have... Oh, that's... we know why. Right? That's the work we're doing. It's all this, this stuff. So we just chewed up a whole bunch of concrete slabs for that. An expensive little project, but we'll see. I think it's worth experimenting and learning how that works. Worker shortage. And no research selected. What the? All right, let's get that going. Where are we at? Okay, most of this stuff off to the left is done. Anything super duper compelling? Large vehicles are. Overcross Cargo Depot 2 is. Large generator. Interesting. Oh, it's a diesel generator, though. Mechanical power storage. Let's try and not leave too many things behind here. I'm going to do some of these. I want that. Kind of curious about that. That one I don't really care too much about. Corn farming, organic, food market. We're going to get to a point where we need the next level of research lab. Where might that be? Research lab 2 or better. Research lab 3 or better. Yeah, this column here. That's something we'll want to keep in mind. All right, yeah, a bit of a worker shortage. Health is okay. Trucking is extremely, extremely busy. We're 8 workers short. I'm okay with that. We can just pause these guys. Those aren't really needed just yet. Now what? We gotta finish our construction. I think we can weave our way around here. We need what? 4 casters? Chilled casters? Let's see. How many they will use. Cooled casters? 12 each. Yeah, it only takes 12. And these guys are kicking out 12. So I need 4 of those somehow. What about... I'll have to route oxygen. Yeah, but it's pipes. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Probably could have done these mirror image. Had 1 oxygen pipe. Not a big deal. For the cooled casters, we're going to need 4 of these. Water comes in, steel comes out, molten metal comes in. Water. Let's see if we can mirror image this a little bit. That dropped right where I wanted it, surprisingly. Copy these guys. That'll do. Alright, molten metal, slag. Molten metal and slag. Lots to do here. I think anybody's going to be driving in here. I'm going to go this. It's our molten steel, I guess. That's that project. Steel taken care of. Molten steel. Slag we talked about. Maybe actually looking up to our existing slag belt, which is right there. Not far. Even hop through the middle and then connect. The challenge is it's going to back up. It's going to back up. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 36 slag right now. 36. 2 more. We'd be okay. But then once we turn these guys online, we're going to need to upgrade that slag belt. Seems like it would be semi-sophisticated to do it that way, though. Let's try it. U-shaped conveyor. We're going to have to come through here and upgrade these, but... Will it connect? That doesn't look like it's connecting, right? On a turn. Sure I can make it connect. Boy, a little challenging. Need to get this guy down on the ground. We could do it. Assuming these guys are going to be able to connect up. Are they not? What's going on? They can't climb? I don't want you guys to climb up. Oh, I thought there was enough room. It's tight. It's really tight. Alright, let's pause the game. We need to scratch that plan. How can we do it? How can we get at those? We could have them come out and then climb up. Come along here. And then somehow join in and climb up this way. Oh man, it's tight. It is really tight. But yeah, the slag belt for these guys could be over here. That would give me plenty of room to elevate. So I could just hop on top of this molten channel. Sneak in between the coal belt and the molten channel. Slag, slag, slag. I just need to connect up here somewhere. Somewhere. Even if I had to, I could cut across and connect up there. And not worry about this guy. Look a little goofy. Let's do it. I think this needs to come out. I don't think that's going to work the way I want it to. Okay, hit play. Let's wait for that to clear. Oxygen's going to be next. All right, guys. How about it? How about it? He's about burning Unity. Our Unity's just barely creeping. All right, so the next plan would be U-shaped conveyor over here somewhere elevated. Something like that. And then these guys can just connect this. Nope. Right? That gets our slag where it needs to go. Slag is done. It doesn't look too bad, actually. What's next? What's next? Oxygen and water and steel. We need to route. Oxygen, how much do we need? 18 per. And our little doodad, it's a 36. So we need 2 of these guys. And we need a upgraded pipe. 2 air separators. And I think the nitrogen, I don't think we pay a pollution penalty for nitrogen. We vent it out. Doesn't show any problems. So let's see, where do we want to put 2 air separators? Where it's not totally jammed in. I don't think we have an option not to jam it in somewhere. We need 2. We could mirror image them here. I do have steel. I got a route that's going to come out of these guys, so I don't want to be right on it. I do need truck pathing to get through here too. This is where all our construction part 2s are. So I probably can't cramp this in. This vehicle depot can move. That's not a problem. That's easy. We can put that just about anywhere. I need 2 oxygens. We could, or 2 air separators, sorry. We could just put those here somehow. And then get rid of this, move that somewhere. Keep this stuff together. Let's try that. Boom, and then flip. And I want 3 blocks in between these, so let's get rid of the vehicle depot. So long. And pop another one down somewhere out of the way. About right here. Doesn't look like a bad spot. buildup, but we don't need to. It's a bit of a drive for vehicle parts, which are over here somewhere. You guys are crying because... Oh, I was afraid of that. You can't get there. That's probably okay. That's probably okay. Off. Okay, let's get the other one down here. Rotate, flip, rotate, right? Nitrogen was on top, I think. We'll double check that. Boom. Yeah, yep. So oxygen. Would have been better to have oxygen up high, but that's alright. That's alright. See what we can do. Oxygen is needed over this way. Let's get a pipe going. We'll call it an episode. I have 3 spaces, right? Yep. I'll run this one on the ground. Maybe we can start climbing here. Room right back here. Let's I should pause the game here. I'm not sure if I like this yet. Pause it. Oxygen comes through. That works. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll take it. Let's unpause. We're just about done with this episode. We're going to have to route the steel and exhaust our nitrogen maybe next episode. Let's at least hook up these oxygen pipes. That's something I would normally just forget about. We don't want the nitrogen in there. So that's good as is. Do we have to pick a recipe for this? No, that's fine. Let's double check these. That doesn't need recipe selected. Guy's already on iron, all of them. And this guy just has a single recipe already pre-selected. So those are good. All right, yeah, next episode we got to come back. We got more to do. We got to get water in here. We got to route our steel. We got to exhaust the nitrogen. And we're good. And then we need to remember that our little slag strategy here. Boom, this belt. And all of the slag belt along here. If we continue to do it this way, where we're putting all of these blast furnaces, 7 blast furnaces on the same slag belt, that belt's going to need to be upgraded. For sure. Yeah, not bad. Let's take a quick look. Food we know is stellar, right? We never have to worry about food for the most part. Diesel is improving substantially. Happy about that. I'm not even running a boost. But we do have a lot of people working on the offshore oil rigs. Offshore oil rigs. Hard to say that fast. I'm going to just slowly upgrade these storage tanks. We do have a warning here. We'll take care of that next episode. Copper mining crew way out east needs to get some designations. Power, that was a good improvement this episode. I think it was worth doing. Probably should have done it from the beginning out here. I didn't realize that we were going to run into the belt problem over on this side of the island so much with starving out our coal deposit. Looks like coal is actually starting to accumulate. So I'm happy to see that. What else? There was another big thing I was going to tell you. Yeah, we're smelting copper plates here, right? Boom. And I did run a belt for copper plates. We're sending these all the way across the island. Long term, I don't know if we'll do this or not. I just wanted to make sure we didn't run out of copper over at that coastal mine that we have over here. Still not sure how that's going to play out, how deep we're going to be able to go. Anyway, I do have a conveyor belt up to here. We need to route that belt way over here somewhere. Or we need to think about doing rubber production somewhere else, right? We need rubber and that copper to come together to make our electronics. And we also need... No, I guess it's just for electronics. So we don't really have a good place. The rubber is using diesel right now, and eventually it's always going to use diesel. We'll have to think about that. We'll have to think about that. We may want to just run a line of diesel across the island. Do our rubber production over here. Because that diesel, running diesel across the island will allow me to put in more fuel stations and stuff so our trucks aren't driving all the way across the island to fill up. So maybe a diesel pipeline coming across the island makes a lot more sense. And then we could repurpose this big conveyor to actually be electronics. So that's something we'll think about. But yeah, that's it for this one. This is Glidercat signing off, saying thanks so much for watching. Special thanks to Glidercat patrons and channel members. Sincerely appreciate your support of the channel. If you'd like to help support the channel, there's links to do so in the description, or you can just hit that thanks button and make a one-time donation to the channel. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. With that, I'll see you all in the next one.